So I showed the video. I'm going to show the video.
Mm-hmm. Social media companies are using your content and your data to make over $100 billion a year. Arro believes you deserve your fair share. So Arro Social is the first ever mobile social media app to track and share advertising profits through the power of blockchain technology. With Arro Social, members keep ownership of their content and data. And Arro shares up to 80% of its advertising profits with all of our members. At Arro Social, we have completed the first phase of our Arro ecosystem. A place to be social, a way to share profits, and a way to spend rewards. Now it's time for phase 2, which includes development of fun new features, and improvement of our API, which will allow a marketplace, gaming, and other apps the ability to plug into the network, accept the Arro token, and create more ways for the community to earn. Join Arro today to be part of this social media revolution.
So we showed a video. Everybody should have just already saw it. And now it was basically about where we came through and where we're going, right? This is what we've gotten so far. This is why we started the company. This is what we've done so far. Now we're talking about, that was phase 1.
Yes.
An app, a functioning app that you can post your pictures in your up to 10 minutes of video, and you can DM your friends.
Yep.
It's there. It exists. Now we're going into phase 2, which we ultimately called the Arrowverse, right?
Yes.
So let's talk about phase 2 a little bit and some parts of that, right?
Fabulous. So phase 2, we're going to be adding a marketplace where you can actually use your Arro tokens to purchase products that you enjoy and love and want to use. We're also adding filters, which will be very much like TikTok and some of the other social networks that you see out there, and adding stories to your own social networks and creating that social app. And you'll also be seeing new listings, and we'll also be adding another exchange to our product base. We're also working on NFTs. I think we brought about 1,000 NFTs to the line, but we'll be putting those back for sale. I think we used OpenOcean to bring those online. They're available out there, but I need to relist them. I think they're only listed for about 3 months online. So that'll be phase 2 of our products available to users or members that we've caught online. So once we get an investor, I think our CTO is saying that'll be about 10 months. Or if we get more investments, then we can do it faster. Right? Phase 3, then we're going to be adding, when investments come, we're going to be adding live streaming and basically putting a news section on the app as well. And we'll be adding, looked like a third exchange online, and we'll be adding some token expansion as well to other platforms, possibly like gaming, and then actually have a whole NFT marketplace for our own NFTs as well. So we'll be adding new features as we go and building out the Arrowverse even more substantially in the phase 3 expansion. And again, that one will take about 10 months once we get funding. And then that also, if the token price goes up and we get funding from token sales, we can also, that goes in alignment with that, right? Any token sales goes into the treasury along with any direct investor funding. So it all plays together.
So let's go back to phase 2 real quick, right?
Sure.
So this is the cool thing. So I was noticing that the number one thing, and this is the thing that's been asked for more, is the marketplace.
Yes.
Right? So we created this app so that especially influencers, content creators, could get more out of their work.
Yes.
With the marketplace, the cool thing about that is now imagine you are following so-and-so and their merch is now in the marketplace.
Absolutely.
So now not only can you earn tokens by watching videos, blah, 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 you can spend them directly to your favorite influencer or whatever. Influencers can earn more tokens through the marketplace, right? And the same thing is when we get later into gaming and stuff like that, right? I think you left something out though. You talked about. I don't think you talked about groups, or did you?
Groups.
Creating some kind of creating groups and stuff, just like you'd see on Twitter or something else, right?
So it looks like groups might be added in phase 3, but if funding goes up, I'm thinking that might be shifted into phase 2. So it all depends on the funding levels. I know grouping is an important aspect, and we can always add that depending on funding. Like, we're always in discussion, and I think grouping groups is always in discussion. I think that would be added to phase 2. If the funding's available, right? We have budget associated to each of those, and if budget comes in, we would basically work those. Like if we get our full funding available, we would work both of those in tandem, right? And so we would work phase 2 sooner and then throw grouping into phase 2. If we get, because I know groups are extremely important. Most people are familiar with groups, and so I'd probably ask the team to consider grouping in phase 2, if not even if we get a team activated and in discussion and get the Gen Zers working again, I'd probably ask them to go ahead and start working on a group, because we're going to activate them, have a conversation with them probably in February, and get them working on a grouping. And actually, I think we're going to get them on adding multiple pictures and videos and grouping. I think is they're going to be their task.
Yeah, and you know me, I'm big on the two big things, right? These are all basic functionality of the social media app that he's talking about. And he's talking about all things that basically, so that anything you would kind of expect or want out of your app, we've got it. Everything's happening, just like anywhere else. There's 2 parts, and this is definitely phase 3, if not 4, right? Definitely the beginning of it is in phase 3.
1.5.
Yeah, phase probably 3, but so I have 2 big things. One is Arro TV being able to be accessed through the app, right? Because we have talked about Arro TV no longer being a free service, but being a subscription model, where your tokens would automatically pay for them. So you could just say opt in, and your tokens would go to it. You don't have to ever pay for it. You just access it through the app. That would be awesome.
Yes.
And the other one is an arcade, right?
Yes.
A place that we've talked about. You talked about gaming a little bit, but literally an arcade from the app. You go into the arcade, and different businesses, different other developers, game developers in that arcade, the Arro tokens can be used in the arcade, just like you would walk into the
Facebook originally
Chuck E. Cheese, or back whenever we were kids, you had to actually go to the arcade to play the really good games. Everything else was 8-bit, but in order to play a really cool game, you had to go into an actual arcade to play a high-end, good graphics video game.
Yes.
And basically, that's a portal into that. And then, of course, the other part is VR, right? Which is probably part of arcade, maybe, or maybe it's its own thing, right? Awesome. Those are the things, of course, I love, right? Is because they're high concept, things that people will love, entertainment. In the end, that's pretty much who I am, is all about entertainment and stuff like that, right? And not my own personal entertainment, but entertaining people. Which is what's weird. I'm a really weird kind of person, because I'm like, I often don't want to be entertained. I would rather do the entertaining, but that's mine, right? It's really weird to be an introvert who is only extroverted when they're entertaining people, which a lot of us are. But yeah, to find those things that really it starts becoming what we call the Arrowverse, right? Yes. And we're not talking about, we had Arrowverse before there was ever the metaverse, right? Yes. Before that phrase was coined openly and became popular,
we
we had said
definitely talked
Arrowverse
about it.
a year or two before that. But Arrowverse was never supposed to be just a straight up like a VR world. It was always supposed to be a access to the world, more access to the whole world, right? To the real world, as well as possibly VR, right?
Yep.
And that's really that's where we ultimately that's the big vision, right?
Yeah.
Is to create some place that people can just share life,
use it, hang out.
Yeah.
Yep. Not the only place, but like that's where the ultimate goal is to use the token for everyday needs and everyday activities and everyday entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because as long as it moves around inside of there, then everybody's cool, right?
Yeah.
There's not these massive minor fees. There's not gas fees. There's not all those things.
Yeah.
Because it's moving around inside of this own world.
In the own world, and we currently already have the app that can do that. Right? That app has an API that already does that within the application, right? And so as long as an app has an agreement with us, they can use that same API development, right? It was designed that way, and so as long as they have an agreement with us, they should be able to use that. So that's that technology that has always been a long-term goal of ours.
Awesome. Well, I think that's all we have for now, right? All we have time for now.
Yeah.
And we'll talk next week, and we'll probably talk about the same stuff a little bit, but we'll have something new. That's all for now. Let's all, right? I never know how to get rid of people, right? It's like, so that's all for now. And at the risk of being like whenever you're a kid and back when we had phones, and we're like, okay, bye. Okay, bye.
Okay.
See you later. You're trying to say goodbye. But we're just going to say bye for now. And definitely, if you haven't downloaded the app already, download the app. Get on there. Tell us what you think. You can DM Robinhood on the app. And we'll try our best to get back to you and answer any questions you might have.
We'll see you next time on Arro Social Hour.
Bye-bye.